2013, one of my best friends, his name is Micah Anderson, he crashed while we were riding together at a training facility called Club MX in South Carolina. When his brother landed on him, he landed directly on Micah's head, and that caused major impairments between his brain and his muscle movement. Sadly, he suffered a brain contusion, which is actually where the brain tears. There's a few different stages of brain injuries, from concussions to brain bleeds to brain contusions. He went into a coma for around 3 months, where I visited him in the hospital every single day, hoping he would come out of the coma, hoping that he would survive. He had a very small chance of survival. By the grace of God, he survived, and he's here today. But that transformation, that period was very, very difficult for me, for his family, for friends. It was a miracle that he survived. Micah was my best friend at the training facility. We were both living there for 3 months. We did everything together, from getting on dirt bikes or four-wheelers, doing donuts in the parking lot with him hanging on the back, dragging, doing wheelies every single day. We were normal, able-bodied individuals doing crazy things, grabbing snakes by the head and just running around. I knew what type of crazy person Micah was. He wanted to do everything adrenaline, action-packed filled there was. You know, if there was something fun, Mike was in it. You know, he's like, all right, let's do it. Let's wheelie these four-wheelers, or have whip contests on the dirt bikes, hit the biggest jumps we could. Once he had his wreck, we knew that he would never be able to do those things as he did prior to the wreck. When people would interact with Micah when they didn't have a previous friendship with him, they would actually treat him different than who he actually was. They would look at him and talk to him maybe in a baby voice, or kind of, you know, hold his hand around. They'd baby him because his speech was impaired, his physical abilities weren't the same. Yet when I finally was able to start speaking to Micah after 3 months of him being in a coma, and after 3 years where he actually worked on his overall cognition and memory and started to regain some of his speech. I even debated learning sign language at a time. He didn't need me to sign to him because his hearing's the same, everything like that. But if he needed to sign to me, for me to understand, because I couldn't understand his speech at the time. It was very mumbled speech. He would talk like, "Hey, David, how are you?" It was mumbled, you know, but he was able to articulate. Not clearly, but he would type out on, you know, an iPad or something similar. But you can still tell he was the same crazy Micah. The same exact crazy Micah who used to get on four-wheelers and wheelie them down, you know, flying 60 miles an hour on the track, being like, "I can do a bigger whip than you." The interaction between Micah and I changed, as in how we actually functioned together, how we communicated, and the activities we did, yet the actual friendship didn't change at all. The fun levels, the stoke levels, the excitement, the psych stayed the same. Everything stayed the same. We were the same friends. He had the same interests. This was really a changing point in my life. He went from being an able-bodied individual and my best friend to a disabled individual and still one of my best friends. When I, you know, spend time with Mike, I don't see him any different. When I hang out with him now, I don't even think about the disabilities or injuries he's suffered. It's now been 9 years since Micah's wreck, and he's enrolled in classes, just went skydiving, he's living his life to the max. He drives an electric wheelchair that he can put vertical, and he can stand up like a freaking Terminator, like a Transformer. He can go from sitting wheelchair and it'll go, and he can get real tall and then press the forward button and rip like 20 miles an hour. around his house, and he flipped it, dude, and ate it, like face into the ground, ate it. Mike and I are going skydiving together in June. So then I get to UNCW, and I meet Michael in the library, and immediately his energy struck me. This guy was electric. Just tell he was full of life. He's yelling. He's like, yo, Steve, yo, what up, bro? Like psyching out of his mind. And I was like, I like this guy. I wasn't sitting there thinking like, oh, like, why is he walking like that? Why is he talking like that? All I was thinking was, this dude is hype. This dude's energy is electric. The connection was natural. It was fluid. We have the exact same interest: adrenaline, moto, skydive, living life to the fullest, basically, shred everything. And my experience with Micah prior, I think, had, you know, a great relation and correlation to then how Michael and I's friendship unfolded. I had a friend who was an able-bodied, adrenaline junkie guy who underwent a transformation after his accident, and he was the same adrenaline junkie guy, just he didn't have the same motor functions or speech. So Michael and I start chilling. We start going out to eat. We start going out to parties. There's this one time where we're at a pregame for a little music festival here in Wilmington, and I'm just handing Michael shots. And I was like, you ever taken a couple shots of vodka? He was like, no. I was like, all right, dude, vodka time. Like, this is gonna be strong. I wasn't sitting there thinking, hey, my friend has a disability, I'm gonna treat him different and be like, hey, Michael, can you take this, buddy? Is this gonna be okay with you? No, I was like, Michael, rip this. Issa ripped it just as all of us did. Then I realized I probably should think about that when this man walks out of the house drunk just like the rest of us, and he falls he's coming out of the house, falls off the curb, face into the guy's car of the house that we were out, and dude, he slams it. Like, he was good. Dude, it was a hard hit. And we were laughing so hard. We were like, oh, dude. I mean, we were like, are you good? Of course, first. But once Michael started laughing, then everyone was just having a blast. Because I don't look at Michael and think disability. Just like when I met Michael the very first time, all I thought about was the hype and contagious energy that he had. Obviously, I'm there for him to help him, to aid him, and if he eats it, if he falls, or if he needs help in somewhere. But he's just like me and you. That's my advice to the world. That's my advice to everyone who's watching this is, if you encounter someone with a disability, don't treat them different. Don't come up to them and baby them around. Inside that disabled body, they're a person who loves to do whatever they're passionate about. They have interests. They have so many levels to their personality, to their mind. There's so many interesting dimensions other than just looking at their appearance and thinking, okay, you know, like, that's a lot to handle or to be around, or not really knowing what to do and just leaving and kind of neglecting the friendship. Instead, help them if they need help in, you know, a certain, you know, physical activity, but just be friends with them. Be friends with them just like you're friends with someone else, and actually grow the relationship and learn their personality, learn their interests, because you'll see behind that disabled body, there's an extremely interesting person, someone who has multiple dimensions to themselves beyond just that one appearance that, you know, may change someone's outlook when they meet someone with a disability. So give them a chance, be friends with them, grow the relationship, and you'll see there's a lot under the covers.